Hi, my name is Caitlyn Mahan. I am 27 years old now. I was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma when I was 25 weeks pregnant, so about 6 months. And I now have my little miracle baby over there named Lydia. And we are pretty much just taking it day by day and fighting for the future. I started with a baby CPR class, and when I was doing the hospital tour for where I was going to give birth at, I felt a really bad side pain in the NICU actually, and I collapsed. I was taken back to the labor and delivery, and they said I had mild contractions and to just go home and drink some water. So I did that. The side pain kept progressing, so I called my OB, and I came in the next day, and they just said I had muscle spasms. And then I waited about 24 to 48 hours because they said just go home, drink some water, have some Advil, and you'll be fine. The side pain progressed even more to pelvic pain, and I felt like pressure, and I was afraid I was about to give birth, so I went to my nearest emergency room, as I was told by my OB, and found out that I needed to be metaflighted. So thankfully there was an amazing travel nurse there at the time, and she called 12 different hospitals, and they were all full except one, and that was UCSF. And I was metaflighted on the 28th. It's actually almost my cancer anniversary. So we'll be 1 year, 1 year in our cancer diagnosis. And I was metaflighted in to labor and delivery, and they didn't tell me what was going on, really anything at all. And being metaflighted is not fun. It smells like carbon monoxide the whole entire time, and you literally see your feet, and then you see everything on the ground. I was like praying I wasn't gonna be like one of those little cartoons where you just go boo out of the plane, because I didn't hear those doors click, so I was crossing my fingers. And then I was wheeled into labor and delivery, and I'm actually still friends with a couple of the nurses that first booked me in, Amy Bobo, and she was so sweet. And the Metaflight team handed her a stack of papers and said, she's got liver cancer, she doesn't know what's going on, have fun. And so pretty much, bless her heart, she had to go get a doctor, and they came in and told me that I had liver cancer and misdiagnosed me. And I looked at them and I just laughed, because that hospital isn't very known to be very good, the one that I got metaflighted from to UCSF. So I was like, run the test again. I don't have liver cancer. Which was right. I don't have liver cancer. I was just internally bleeding on my liver for 4 days. So we ended up having to do a bunch of different tests. I ended up having a swollen lymph node on my cheek right here. And what had happened was the cancer from my by my parotid had swelled up, and I had fluid buildup on my cheek. So they went ahead and took 3 different samples of that, and that came back positive. And they found tumors up and down my spine. Tumors were eating my liver, and that's what was causing it to internally bleed. I ended up having to have surgery when I was 25 weeks pregnant to stop the bleeding. The medical team were absolutely amazing at UCSF. They had a sonogram on her the whole entire surgery, and she just crawled up in a little ball and just started sucking her thumb the whole time. So she truly is a little fighter. After that, I had multiple different surgeries to remove different tumors. I ended up having a tumor on my breast, up and down my spine. The ones on my spine, I ended up fracturing my spine on my T5 and my T7. And we are in the process right now of still healing my spine. And I might end up having to have a back surgery pretty soon. I ended up having 3 brain tumors as well. Multiple seizures. I was put on dialysis, as well as I had to relearn how to walk again. My body swelled up to 265 pounds. They ended up having to poke a hole in my side on my stomach to let some of the fluid drain out because it was so severe. What ended up happening was I had my first cancer treatment after I had her at 26 weeks. And she was 2 pounds, 4 ounces, my little miracle baby. And I had my first cancer treatment 5 days later. The tumors broke down so quickly that my kidneys couldn't keep up. And that's when I had to end up going on dialysis. I'm very grateful to my amazing oncologist, Dr. James Lee at UCSF. He actually has his own lab at UCSF. I know. And most moms dream of doing milestone photos with the blanket and the little sign. Our milestone photos are with my oncologist every month. So we have photos from when she was 2 pounds all the way up to her 20 pounds now with our amazing oncologist. I'm starting a little farm stand, and I'm trying to raise money to donate towards melanoma research as well. So a portion of my proceeds. So I do espresso coffees, sourdough bread, sourdough starter, baked goods. I have some people in town that are making things like flower bouquets and candles as well. And we have like hummingbird feeders and a bunch of different variety of things. And I have it in a little old antique hutch. And so I call it Little Hutch of Heaven. And some of the proceeds are going to go towards melanoma research as well. I try to be a better person for her. That's what I'm fighting for. I was given, at one point I was given 24 hours to live. And then after I beat that, they gave me 6 months to live. And then after I beat that, we're on month 11 right now, they gave me a 15% chance of living the next 5 years. So I actually have it on my bracelet right here. It says, beat the odds. So that's what I'm working on doing every day for my daughter. My biggest thing is I've always wanted to be a mom. I've always wanted to be a mother. And knowing that my daughter was in the NICU fighting for her life was hard enough as it is. Being taken away from her for 3 weeks was excruciating. My whole mindset was I gotta fight for my daughter. I want to be able to see her graduate high school. I want to see her in her wedding gown. I want to see her grow up. I want to watch her first steps and be able to be there for her. So my main focus has always been my daughter and keeping a positive attitude and a positive mindset. My godmother, as we spoke before, she actually just recently passed away from cancer. And she had the most infectious laugh. And if you talk to her, you would never think she had cancer. Because she was so pure and happy and loving. And she wanted to do everything for everybody else. And she wanted to care for everybody else. And just because the disease was taking over her, she didn't let the disease define her, if that makes sense. Her biggest thing was being able to bring joy to the world. And unfortunately, she wasn't able to have children. She had godchildren, and she poured everything she had into us. So taking notes out of her book and being able to be the best person, the best mother, the best wife, daughter, sister I could possibly be is all I've ever wanted to do. I'm very, very blessed and very lucky to have her in my life because not many babies come into the world that way. And she was having to be held at least an hour a day, and you had to talk to her in order for her brain development to keep going forward and growing. And I wasn't able to do that. So I ended up having to have, I was very blessed to have my nurses and the nurses that were caring for me in labor delivery, as well as my cancer nurses. They would go in on their lunch breaks, and they were able to do, like, hold her for me and being able to talk to her. And I'm very fortunate to even have, I have one of my main nurses. Her name is Molly Killigan, and she is amazing. We call her Auntie Molly now, and she comes down once a month to see us and visit us, and we catch up, and it's just been absolutely amazing that we were able to forge these friendships, and people that were strangers are now family. And so that's what I'm absolutely blessed to have in my life. Life throws us so many different ways and throws us so many different wild cards that you pretty much have to play your hand with what you got. No one's ever going to want to, I'm so sorry, be negative forever. And yeah, life has thrown me kind of a crappy hand, but it's what you make the best of for what you have. I want to be remembered as a great mom and a positive person, and also protecting your mindset and being your own advocate is absolutely huge in life. So being able to not only have an advocate for you when you need to focus on your treatment, but being able to be an advocate for others as well. And that's why I really want to raise this money. So, currently, I go in once a month to UCSF, and I'm on a medication that just got approved a couple months ago called Opdualag. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to this medication, and so they have to pre-medicate me, which ends up knocking me out, which is the best nap of your life, I swear. And I'm infusing the medication on me. What we do, we wake up about 5 a.m. and we drive about 2 to 3 hours to UCSF. And then when we get there, we go and get blood draw. When I get there, I go to get my blood drawn, and they take anywhere between 3 to 12 tubes of blood each time. And then we wait about an hour, and then we have our doctor's appointment with the oncologist, my husband, my mother, my daughter, and I. And then from there, I get approved for the treatment. And then we either have to walk about 3 blocks to the Wild Building, or we are lucky enough to stay at UCSF itself, and they have their own infusion center as well. We wait a little bit to get taken either to a room or to they have these really cool recliner chairs that like vibrate, give you massage, and then they also like have a heat setting, and then you can recline back. It's pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. And then of course you can't stop there. They give you the best warm blanket ever. But I have to get pre-medicated, and the problem with me is I have very small veins and very bad veins, and so it takes a lot of pokes to find my veins. Routinely, about each cancer treatment, I get minimum of 3 up to 8 pokes was the most I've ever gotten in a cancer treatment, just to try to find my vein. And from there, I get an infusion, which should take about 30 minutes. Because I'm allergic to the medication, a lot of times it takes up to 3 hours. So they have to go low and slow on it. Unfortunately, because I had swelled up to 265 pounds at one time, I have severe stretch marks from below my knee all the way up to underneath my chest, where you can see all my veins in my body. So I have to be very careful, because not only if I hit anything, I get blood blisters from the veins popping, but the medication makes me bruise very easily. I'm tired 24/7. I wake up feeling like I ran a marathon, and I get really bad migraines and nausea as well. She keeps me going. The memory of us being together in the hospital, fighting together, that's what keeps me going. She's a miracle by herself, and I want to be a part of it. And you can sit around, and a lot of times it is very healthy for you to cuss at the world, scream at the top of your lungs, but at the end of the day, protecting your mindset and being able to protect your peace is huge. So putting that as a priority, making yourself a priority, is very hard, but you also have to give yourself grace. Every day is going to be different. Some days I'm in excruciating pain, and it's very hard to get out of bed. And some days I'm constantly in pain because of my fractures in my back aren't healing, and I'm lugging around a 20-pound little gremlin all day. So the main thing is protect your peace, watch who you surround yourself with, and try to make yourself a priority. give yourself grace enough to realize that you're not going to get everything done that you wanted to each day, but you just have to wake up and realize how fortunate you are to even have that day. I was given 24 hours, and I didn't know how I could leave something that I've always wanted in my life here on earth not by herself. She has her family, but without her mother. I mean, we only have one mom, and I cherished mine, and I wanted to grow old watching her grow up. So I'm fighting for that. One major thing, everyone that I meet or have family friends that are pregnant, a part of my diagnosis is because I was pregnant, my immune system was shut down to protect my baby. That's what gave the cancer cells free range to spread and grow as quickly and rapidly as they did. So making sure that you get checked, especially if you're pregnant, once a year. Make sure you do self-checks at home. Go in the mirror and check your body, and if you have something that you want to keep an eye on, take a picture of it so you have that time recording of when you first took a picture of it to your next appointment. And if it grows, if it changes color, texture, anything like that. Also, not only education for melanoma, but what we can do as cancer patients to help our life. For instance, I get very, very cold in cancer centers. They're all super cold. I found a jacket called from a company called Be Well, where it has the cuff right here and zips from here all the way up to your armpit, so you can still stay warm, but you can get your IVs all done on both arms, which is finding little things that not only bring you joy, but that help you on your journey as well is absolutely huge. Educating the population about sun safety, about sunblock. Some misconceptions are sunscreen causes cancer. No, it does not. Some misconceptions are, well, I'm just going to go out and put some oil on and tan, and if I turn red, it's going to turn to a tan the next day. It doesn't matter. That tan is going to increase or sunburn is going to increase your chances of melanoma. So just being educated. No one knows everything. It's always good to learn new things and keep yourself educated and try to keep you and your family safe as well. I actually had 3 different doctors. I went to when the lymph node popped up, and they're like, oh, it's just fluid. It's just fluid. I'm like, well, why is the fluid there? Oh, your body does weird things when you're pregnant. I had a doctor where my original melanoma spot was on my temple on a mole on my temple. I told them my concerns about it, and my mom had melanoma, but she had in situ, so they were able to carve it out, and she was okay. Well, to find out, when I brought my concerns up to my primary care doctor, I was dismissed and belittled and was told, if you want to get taken off, it's going to be cosmetic and it's going to come out of your pocket. I was 23, 24, I believe, at the time. No one has that kind of money to do surgery like that. So unfortunately, that ended up being my downfall and spreading, but being able to take the life lessons that I have and apply them and to education to others is huge. And I was very blessed to connect to a lot of people in the melanoma community. And I had one mother reach out to me who had just buried her daughter, who just gave birth to a baby. And her daughter was breastfeeding one day, and she saw a spot on her daughter's back. And from diagnosis to death was 1 year. So having someone like that come out to me and say thank you for education and for educating everybody about this. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to save my daughter, but bringing awareness to this disease that people take very lighthearted, and being able to spread awareness is huge. And I'm not out here looking for recognition. I'm not out here looking for any kind of fame or money or anything like that because of this. I just want people to know it's okay to question your doctors. It's okay to get second, third, fourth opinions. It's okay to advocate for yourself, but also realize you need to be able to keep yourself positive in times of struggle and times of need. Live every day like it's your last, because you never know if it is. I mean, you could get in a car and something could happen. You could have cancer and something could happen, but don't leave any situation on bad terms. Make sure you try your best every day, because you just never know when it is going to be your last. And I want to leave my legacy and be remembered for being a good, positive person and fighting like crazy, and I'm gonna try to beat the odds every day.